Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to conceal a surgical scar. So I was in an accident almost like 2 months ago now. No, it has been 2 months, a little over 2 months ago now. And I was left with a pretty large surgical scar. And, while our battle wounds, it's totally fine to show them, and we should be proud and fine to show them and feel confident to show them. It just shows that you have been through something and you got through it. But there might be some times when you want to cover your scar up. So if that is you, I am going to be sharing how to cover up a surgical scar. I had this accident pretty recently before I got married, and I did want to cover it up for the wedding just because I didn't want the scar just to be like super obvious. I didn't want it to be what people were looking at. So I decided that I would cover it up. So I am going to give you guys some product options, like a couple of product options, because some of these products are cleaner with cleaner ingredients and some of them are more of those like conventional makeup products. But I wanted to just give you guys some options when I would just cover this up in my daily life. If I wanted to do that, I would normally lean towards using the cleaner ingredients, the cleaner products. But on my wedding day, some of the products that I used were like conventional makeup products. I really want to make sure that it would last really well throughout the day. But I'm going to give you guys some options. Before I hop into the demo, I'm just going to share with you guys the products that I'm going to use. So step one is to apply a sunscreen. So I love this one from Hero Cosmetics. This is a face sunscreen, but that's fine. You can use it on a surgical scar as well, even if it's not on your face. And this has a little bit of a green tint. So if you have any redness in your scar, this is also gonna just help a little bit with kind of reducing that redness. This is a sunscreen. It's not a super deep green tint, so it's not gonna do a huge amount of reducing the redness, but just kind of a little added bonus there if you do have redness. This is a nice sunscreen to use, and I find that this one is super gentle, and I really like this. So step one is going to be your sunscreen, and then next you're going to prime. So the reason that I want to prime is because you want to make sure that you are creating a nice base for it so that the other products that you use will apply really smoothly. So this is the Tatcha primer. This one is clean at Sephora. Obviously, everybody's ingredient preferences, everyone has their own preference for what ingredients they're okay with using, and so just kind of do your own research into what products you're okay with using. You don't have to use these exact products, but these are ones that I have used. So this is the Tatcha primer. That's the one that I'm going to use for today's video. This one is clean at Sephora. Everything clean at Sephora might still not meet your standards of what you like to use, but that's why you do your own research. But then the next thing that you want is some color correctors. You may want a peach color corrector and also a green color corrector. You might not need both of these. But if you have a lot of redness in your scar, then go for a green color corrector because that will help to counteract the redness. And then if you have like purple or blue in your scar, then go for a peach color corrector. So this is the Deep Peach Color Corrector from Fit Glow Beauty. This is really good. I'm a huge fan of Fit Glow Beauty. Integrity Botanicals was super kind to send this my way. I love Integrity Botanicals. They're an online retailer that carries a lot of clean beauty brands, and I love Integrity Botanicals. I've done quite a few videos about Integrity Botanicals, but they're great. Definitely check them out. But this is the Fit Glow Beauty Deep Peach Color Corrector. So this is going to help with counteracting any purple or blue. And I'm actually going to be using both the blue and peach color corrector in this demo because I do have a little bit of redness in my scar as well as purple and blue in my scars. And then this is the NYX green color corrector. Now I actually really did want to get the Fit Glow Beauty one. Integrity Botanicals doesn't carry the green color corrector from Fit Glow Beauty. That is the one that I wanted to use, and Fit Glow Beauty is also a clean beauty brand. I do like the ingredients that they use more in the Fit Glow Beauty products than this NYX one. I don't love this one. It was just super cheap and I needed to get something quick for my wedding day, so I ended up using this for my wedding day. Actually, I didn't even end up using this for my wedding day because on my wedding day my scar was definitely looking really purple and blue, so I didn't even end up using the green color corrector, but I did purchase this for the purpose of using it for my wedding day, and then I didn't end up using it. But this is good if you do have redness. And this one is also super affordable. It was like $4 on Amazon. I will also link everything that I talk about in today's video in the description box below if you guys do want to check any of these products out. But Fit Glow, if you do want a cleaner version for a green color corrector, Fit Glow Beauty does have a green color corrector. I definitely do want to try that sometime. And then you also want a foundation. You could use a foundation or a concealer to conceal the actual scar. Now I was looking into foundations that would give some really, really nice coverage, but also look nice and skin-like, so it's not super obvious that I'm covering a scar up. I just want it to look really natural. So I discovered the brand Best Bronze. Now this is a body and leg makeup. So this comes with a little sponge on it, and they do have some shade options to choose from. They also have face and body undertone customizers. So these are supposed to help to kind of create your perfect shade, so that's really cool. They have that. So I'm going to be using their body and leg makeup for today's demo. My camera just died, so I'm using my phone camera right now. But also I should mention about the Best Bronze body and leg makeup. The stuff is supposed to cover things like tattoos, and also even meant to like cover things like scars. So it's supposed to really give amazing coverage. So, you know, tattoos can be really difficult to cover, but this stuff is supposed to cover that. So that is why I thought this would be perfect to use for covering a surgical scar. So that's why I'm going to demo this in today's video. If you do want a cleaner alternative, you could use, for example, I really love the Fit Glow Conceal Plus. That's a great option. This is the color corrector, but the concealer looks just like this. The packaging is the same. Or another option that you could do is use a foundation that you have. I'm wearing this foundation today, but a great option would be the Kosas Revealer foundation. This looks so natural and skin-like on the skin, so this would be a really good option that will make it so it looks really natural. So that's a good option. On my wedding day, I did use the same foundation that I used on my face to cover up my scar, and I used the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And then the next step is going to be setting it. So you want to choose a setting powder. So this is the Laura Mercier setting powder. Probably heard of this setting powder. It's a super popular setting powder. I ended up using this on my wedding day because it really helps makeup last really long. So that's why I use this on my wedding day, but not the best ingredients in my personal opinion. So if you do want a cleaner alternative for a setting powder, the Kosas Cloud Set is a nice setting powder. You could use this. And then also if you want to kind of add an extra bit of sunscreen, Jane Iredale has a really nice powder sunscreen. You could use this for a setting powder. And then the last step is going to be a setting spray. So for on my wedding, I used the Skindinavia, the makeup finishing spray. This is their bridal version. I used this to set the makeup on my scar. I really wanted to make sure that it would stay covered all day long. But if you want a cleaner setting spray option, then Ilia has a really nice setting spray. I really like this. For this demo, I am going to go ahead and use kind of a mix of these products. But like I mentioned, you know, you can choose the products that you like. You don't have to use these exact products, but these are just some options that you might possibly like to try. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get right into the demo. Starting off with sunscreen, I'm gonna use the Hero Cosmetics Force Shield sunscreen. This is a completely mineral-based sunscreen. This does not contain any chemical filters, which I personally prefer. It is reef safe, and I just prefer these ingredients over the chemical filters. You really wanna make sure that you apply a sunscreen because this is going to help make sure that you are preventing that scar from getting even darker. You should apply sunscreen to your scar every day, even when you are not covering it up with makeup. Then I'm going to prime the scar, and I'm using the Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer, and this is just going to really help to kind of smooth out the scar in a way where the makeup is going to apply on it much more smoothly, so it'll look much more natural when you apply the other products on top of it. I do have a little scar right beside this long scar, so I'm going to apply all of these products to that as well. Next, I'm going in with the Fit Glow Beauty Deep Peach Color Corrector. They have a regular peach version, but because my scar is so dark, I decided that I would use the Deep Peach version instead. The Deep Peach is going to really help with counteracting that purple and blue, and I feel like my scar is mostly purple and blue, so I'm going to be using mostly the peach color corrector in this video. I am going to use a little bit of green as well, but I'm going to mostly use the Deep Peach shade here, and I just blended it out with my fingers, and then to make sure it's blended out even better, I'm blending the rest out with a sponge. Then for the green color corrector, I'm using the NYX green color corrector, and I'm just adding a little bit of this. Again, blending it out with my fingers, and then I'm going to blend it out with my sponge as well. And again, green is going to help with counteracting any redness. And then for the foundation type of product that I'm using to cover this up, I'm using the Best Bronze Bombshell Body and Leg Makeup. This is in the shade Light, and this is going to really help to give some really good coverage. And I'm just dabbing it in with the sponge that it comes with. And then I'm going in with a sponge to really blend this out. And you definitely want to take your time on blending it out so that way everything looks seamless. I am concentrating the product on the scar right now, but I am going to add some more in a little bit and blend it out around more of my arm as well, just to make sure that it's all really seamless. So then adding a little bit more of this, and I'm just gonna kind of tap this around more of my arm now. And then again, I'm gonna blend it in with a sponge and just make sure it is blended out really, really well. And as you can see, this does a really good job at covering up that scar. It is gonna be still a little bit noticeable, but that's okay. You can't really completely cover it up. Depending on how dark your scar is, maybe you can basically completely cover it up. But because mine is still quite bright, it's not gonna completely be covered up, but this still does a really, really good job at concealing that and covering it up. To set it, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier setting powder, and the reason that you want to set this is to make sure that this really lasts throughout the day and also make sure that it doesn't transfer onto your clothes. So I'm just dabbing this on. Of course, you can use a different setting powder if you want, but this one does a really good job at making it last really long and helping it not to transfer. If you do want a cleaner alternative for a setting powder, you could try one of the other options that I mentioned earlier in this video. And then to set it, I'm using the Skindinavia, the makeup setting spray. This is their bridal version, and this is going to help the products to stay on all day. So there it is, the before and after. You can definitely see a huge difference. Like I mentioned, it doesn't completely cover it up, but it definitely really helps and it makes it not as obvious. If you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And if you guys do want to see even more content from me in the future, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you guys want to check out any of the products that I used in today's video, I will have everything listed and linked in the description box below. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all for my next video. Bye guys!